So you know I'm pissed about this elimination, but let's get into this review because I got some things to say. This episode opens up with Courtney and the girls are coming back from elimination, and Courtney is upset because she thinks the girls hate her because she had best photo. Girl, sit down. They don't hate you because you have best photo. They hate you because you're an annoying complainer. All you do is complain and you play victim all the time. That's why they hate you. It has nothing to do with your photo and everything to do with your personality. Girl! Then we get to Corianne, who is talking to one of her friends, and in her confessional, she's, upset. She's missing home. She feels like life is going on without her because one of her friends is going to a Drake and Future concert that she's going to miss. Then the girls get their first challenge, which is a social media challenge, and it's headed up by DJ Khaled, who comes in, and he has such a big personality that poor Rita, I felt like he just drowned her, and she looked so uncomfortable being next to DJ Khaled, who has such a big personality. This is the problem with America's Next Top Model. I talked about it before. The host needs to be a supermodel. Personally, I don't have anything against Rita Ora. I just feel like this franchise is so well known and it's all over the world and it has so many fans, and it just, in my opinion, it needs to be headed up by a supermodel with personality. I feel like Rita just doesn't have like a host personality, and standing next to someone like DJ Khaled, it just magnifies how awkward she is as a host, because she was trying to match him. I'll give it to the girl. She was trying, but she just couldn't because his delivery was just so natural, and you can tell that this is just uncomfortable for her, and there's nothing wrong with it. Not everybody has the personality to be a host. I think she can take a good picture. I just don't feel like she fits this show as the host. Then the girls get this challenge of like taking a lingerie photo in the middle of the streets of New York and doing like a video about it. This was, to me, made absolutely no sense. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, this challenge makes no sense, but it's a good commercial for Major Key, who is the owners of this fashion line. So it's sponsorship, but it just was a pointless challenge, but it got some good drama. Courtney and Britta, or Benta, it's in my American eyes, it reads Britta to me, but I think it's Benta because I feel like they call her Benta. Anyway, Courtney and Benta are teamed up, and it's a nightmare because Benta has a very strong personality and Courtney is a constant victim. So Benta, who's this very strong woman, is with this very like weakling and frail of a woman, and it just doesn't work out. They have a really, really hard time. Benta has to do her video by herself because she can't work with Courtney, and then she still helps Courtney even though Courtney's having several meltdowns. She doesn't know how to work an iPhone, and she's just like struggling, but Benta still helps her. And again, better than me, but I'm proud of her for being the bigger person, but wouldn't have been me. Do it yourself, heifer. Corianne has a mediocre performance. Like, I feel like all the girls did their own little commercial things and they were cute. DJ Khaled really liked Benta's and Courtney's, and but they're like, Corianne really, really struggled. It was just so weird. She like picked some guy off the middle of the street and was just like, so I have small breasts and I have a small butt. Do you still think I'm sexy? What? It was so awkward and like, girl, you missed the whole challenge. But this is again why I miss Tyra, because the only thing that Rita picked out was just like, oh, I didn't like how she stereotyped small breasts and small boobs. What? There were so many other things wrong with that than her stereotyping small breasts and small boobs. Oh wait, small breasts and a small butt. But there were so many things wrong with her challenge, the way she performed that challenge, and you pick out a stereotype of smaller body parts. Girl, what? Where is Tyra? The challenge is over, and DJ Khaled picks a winner, and it's Courtney. Girl! Courtney! Courtney, who was a wreck, who needed all kinds of help, who was so difficult to work with that Benta couldn't even work with her. She won. And oh my goodness, Benta had a full-on breakdown. And I'm telling you, I thought that um, she was being overly dramatic, what they all are. They're like early 20s. They're Generation Z, man. Generation Z. So they're all like very emotional and all over the place. So I give them a pass for that because if had you met 21-year-old Nikki, I was crying about every and anything. So I get it. I totally understand where they're coming from. However, when Benta said that she used my skin color to win this challenge, it like ripped my soul into, because there were so many levels to that oh man, those words, I was just like, come to think about it, she did. But Benta, you should have said something. I would have been like, hold up. I have a problem with that. Speak your mind, young women. You do not have to say yes to everything and go along with everything. I get it. You're younger and you're in a different space. You know what I mean? Because I know had I been on that show at 21, I probably would have allowed the same things to happen, because as young girls were told not to make waves. But honey, wait till you get past a good 25. Can't nobody tell you nothing. Then they're all riding back to their apartment or their home in the limo after the challenge. And Benta is pissed. She's crying. She's going off on Courtney. You shut up. You shut up. Like going crazy on Courtney. And you know what? Not a fan of Courtney, but she handled that very well, because you could not be jumping up in my face screaming at me and I'm just sitting there chill. But I feel like Courtney took it because she realized that she was wrong. And she probably didn't know how to say, or in that moment to be like, hey, you know, I think it should be split between me and Benta. She's not that person. That's not who she is. You know, Courtney is very cocky and a victim and a complainer, but she can take a good photo. You know, so you girls got to stop hating and you just got to get on her level or above it, or rise above it. But anyway, they go to the house and it's still a fight. Tosh, who hasn't liked Courtney from day one, gets in on it. And then Courtney's just like, I can't wait for you to leave, man. I'm going to be so happy when you get eliminated. Cocky foreshadowing. Not too long after that, Courtney falls down the steps and she's like making a big deal about it. And she's like, oh, my arm is broke. I won't be able to compete. Is Courtney the only child? Where is she from? I didn't look into where she was from. But these women, period, are very fragile. Especially the women of color. And I'm confused because I'm just like, y'all know our lives is rough. So I don't understand how y'all so like, You know what? Maybe this is what I was like at 21 too. Maybe I was just I know I was nuts, but was I this fragile? Maybe I was. Maybe I'm just forgetting. So the girls get this next challenge, and they're to go to a paper magazine party and take 3 pictures, and the judges will choose who had like the best photo from those 3 pictures. Where is Tyra? This challenge is so dry, bland, and dull. Like a social media challenge on this level. I mean, you can do social media because social media is very important. I am not in any way downing social media. It's very important. But this challenge was so blasé. Like, go to a party and take pictures, and there could have been so many other things that you guys could have done. You could have used different apps. I just don't feel like they're helping these girls this season. I just feel like they're trying to get them to just do something that seems interesting, but I don't think they're helping them, and that sucks. So they go to this paper magazine party, and they're taking their pictures or whatever, and poor Chris Leanne, I mean, she is like on like whole shell shock. She's so afraid to like pout her lips or take a certain picture because the judges have just really, they've come down too hard on her, in my opinion. I don't feel like they've given her constructive criticism. It's just like, you have to realize this girl's from a different culture, from a different, hood. So her body is shaped a different way. She operates a different way. What she does on Instagram works for her and works for the community that she's marketing to. So you just have to change up how you give her the information, but you're just basically slut and class shaming her. And y'all know from my last video that I have a serious problem with that. And now we're at the judging table. Ashley Graham, this silver eye makeup, nope, let's not ever do that again. Catriona and Gia, great photos. Paige, 2 first pics were great. You're still doing this this mouth thing, and the judges, oh, great job, Paige. Tell her, please, that she photographs. Oh, Tyra would have been court that day one. Y'all are not saying anything about this mouth, and you know good and well that girl is not going to get hired doing that. Tell her the truth. Cody, nope. Don't sell yourself short, honey. The problem is they put this weave in you and it took your soul. Get your soul back. Even if you got to work this weave, go back to the person that did your hair and just be like, listen, I need a bundle. You need some life in that weave. You look so sad. They took your soul, sis. Don't let them take your soul. Benta, slay, like you always have. Great pick. You know what? I have to say this. The judging this time around was really good. I really liked how they were talking about Benta's picture and how she looks like an alien. They really love that look because that's what I think will work for Benta. She doesn't look, it's not that she doesn't look human. She looks godlike or like an evolved, like how we think evolved human beings will look. She looks like how I think we will look on a different evolved, elevated Earth. You know, if I'm making myself clear. So I thought that was a great critique that she was given, or a great note that she was given. Courtney took a great pick, as we, expect her to, but right while they're giving her a compliment, she starts complaining. And Drew, thank you, my love. Thank you so much, because you called her out on something that she has been doing this entire time, which is why the viewers have been so upset, because we're just like, how is she still here and she's able to do this? Drew called her out and was just like, you're a complainer. You have to stop that. Take the photo, do your job, and keep it moving. And I'm glad, because she needed that. Because, I'm not a fan of any of these girls, really. But I do want them to do well. And I've always felt like, since the show began, that they have not been given the proper critiques to really help them succeed in this business. And I feel like this time around, the judges are really giving them good critiques, especially Drew, because that's what Courtney needs to know. You can't go on set doing all that complaining. Nobody's going to work with you, no matter how great of a photo you take. You ain't Naomi Campbell. They'll deal with her complaining. They'll deal with her beating up on an assistant or two, because she's Naomi Campbell. You ain't there, sis. Ain't there. So I agree with the judges about Tosh. Listen, hell has frozen over, sweetie. Hell has frozen over, because I really feel like these judges have been on point this episode. But I like what they told Tosh. Like, your first two photos, they look really basic. They look very Forever 21. No tea, no shade to Forever 21, but this is America's Next Top Model. High fashion. And Tasha's first two picks weren't. She was working the hair, though. I think the hair looks great on her. Her last pick was good. It did remind me of a movie, so I agreed with them. I think Ashley said that, or maybe Rita. But yeah, I agreed. Her pictures were not that strong. Marissa killed it for me. This was the first time I felt like she looked like a model. She never really looked like a high fashion model to me. She always looked very commercial, very Delilah's. Is that store still around? But you know what I mean? Very Delilah, very Forever 21. I would never imagine seeing her in like a Gucci ad. But from those pictures that she took, I could see it. I disagreed with the judges a bit on that, because they weren't as wild as I was. I really felt like, for me as a viewer, this was the first time I saw her as like a high fashion model. And these pics they weren't good to me. They were very below mediocre. I don't see India as a model. I feel like she's there because she looks like a middle-class Gigi Hadid. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they keep her there because she looks like Gigi, but not Gigi. So, I don't know why she's still on the show. Maybe they see something that I don't see, but her pictures weren't that great either, and she should have been called in the middle. I felt like she should have been called probably dead last, because I didn't think her pictures were that great. Then we get to Kyle, and you know how I feel about Kyle. Rita just confirms my feelings, because when Kyle gets up there, she says nothing about Kyle's picture. It's all about, oh, I love how you're owning your sexuality, and oh, you're just so different. And it's just like, I get it. I get that she's different. Help her. You guys aren't giving her any critiques. Like, none of her critiques are good, except the one from Drew. I really feel like Drew is, for me, he stepped it up this season, because last episode I didn't see it for him, but I really feel like he is showing up, because he gave Kyle some great notes. This is my thing. I don't see it for Kyle right now. Maybe I'll see it for Kyle later, But right now, I don't see Kyle as like a model. I don't see what the judges are trying to make us see, because I feel like they're trying to make us see Kyle as this amazing model because Kyle is, you know, and it doesn't really sit well with me. But I also feel like Kyle is at a disadvantage because Kyle is skating by because of her sexuality and the difference. And they're not giving her good notes. They're not giving her the proper critiques that she needs to be a good model. Because if Kyle signed up for this, Kyle wants to be a model. So give Kyle the notes so that Kyle can get better and kill it. You know, Kyle might win this competition based off of modeling. And I hope that's it. But I really hope that the judges follow Drew and start to give some good critiques to help these models be better. You love Kyle for her sexuality and everything, but she's here to be a model. Help her be a model. Courtney gets up there, and, you know, Courtney is like this head case because of her mama being a supermodel. And her pictures are terrible. And I kind of knew that she would have bad pictures because one thing about America's Next Top Model, they always focus on the models that are going home. So you know that it's going to be one of those models that have like a lot of camera time. And I felt like Courtney was probably going to be one of them to be in the bottom. And she happened to be one. Her pictures just weren't that great. You know, they were not that great. And again, the judges gave her a great note. Stop hiding. And that's Courtney's issue. You know, but y'all gave her the top pick when she was hiding through, when she was hiding through them pearls, y'all gave her the top pick. You know what I mean? Now, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, stop hiding. Y'all should have been told that girl that, but I'm glad that you're saying something now. So I thought that was a really great note for her because Courtney does a lot of hiding, and she has to come out from beneath her mother and be her own person, her own model. And I think once she realizes who she is, she's going to be phenomenal because she is a beautiful girl. Beautiful. Got the height, got the body. She'll kill it. She just needs that confidence that she can do it. Chris Leanne, sis, you better slay. Her pick was so great. Just like Marissa, this was the first time that I saw Chris Leanne as like a model. She like really transformed her face, her body. She looked great, and I was very proud of her because she was so stressed out that she wouldn't please those judges because the notes that they gave her were, I understand the notes. I just felt like their delivery was so wrong because they had her thinking totally different than a proper way to actually get her to these photos. She was going to a point where she started to hate herself and was like, you know, changing herself and having like a negative idea of who she is. And I thought that wasn't the way to go, but she got a good pick out of it. And she ended up winning top pick, which I agree with. This is the first top pick of the day that I agree with. It should have definitely went to Chris Leanne because she killed. Proud of you, sis. Proud of you for changing, taking the notes, good or bad, and doing what you can to come out and win this challenge. Proud of you. So it's down to Courtney and Tosh, and the judges end up picking Courtney over Tosh. I don't get that. I was very heated about that elimination because I don't feel like Tosh should have been there at all. I don't feel like she did the worst. I think she probably, Courtney probably should have been down there, but that's just my opinion. But I just didn't understand them letting her go. And then I realized, well, they have two already. So, you know, they probably wanted to keep the one that was, the one that they felt photographed better. And I guess it was Cody. So, you know, I understand that you run that risk when you're a twin on a show that they're going to cut one of you because they want to see who you are. And I feel like because Tasha has such a strong personality, we don't really get to find out who Cody is. And I think that we're going to see who she really is, or maybe she'll blossom into a different person, or maybe the judges are just, or maybe the producers are just so petty and they want to see her crumble without her sister. Anyway, Tasha's at home. Don't agree with it. Courtney is saved. I think she's also saved because of her supermodel mom storyline. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. It's a reality TV show. It's a modeling competition, but trust, it's a reality TV show. So next week's episode seems like it's going to be high drama, and I'm here for it. We get to see Rita Ora in a different light as a judge. Kyle starts to, you know, her personality starts to come out, so she has a few scenes, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I didn't know if I was going to continue to review this show, but with the judges making this turn, I'm here for it. I actually like what I'm seeing, and I'll be keeping it up. Let me know what you think. What are your comments in the comments section below? Let's talk about it. What do you guys think about the elimination? Are you as pissed off as me or not? See you next week.